Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is living things and their surroundings, we were talking about that of the what are the different surroundings or different habitat of the living organisms. So we had seen here students that the plants, they shows the different type of a habitat, and even the animals, they shows the different type of a habitat. So if you look the habitat of the plants, so we have seen that the plants, there are plants which used to grow in means they used to be planted at home. There are plants which used to be planted in the, they used to grow in the forest area, or they used to grow in the water. So we have seen that where they used to be planted. Okay, so and not only the students, the habitat vary with the with their surrounding, like desert. So some of them used to grow in a dry condition, some of them grow in a hilly area. Okay, some of them grow in a the mountain area. So you can say that even in the cold place or even in the water. So you can see here that the plants, they are having the different kind of a habitat. The same thing we have seen in case of the animals also, that animals also possess the different kind of a habitat. So here students, we have seen in case of animals, that is the, if we talk about the lion is there or a tiger is there, so they used to prefer living in forest. There are rats which used to live in field as well as at homes. If you look snakes, so snakes used to live in the field as well as in the forest. And birds, they used to live in the sky. So and if a frog is there, so they used to prefer to live near pond. And if you look that a tortoise is there or turtle is there, so they used to prefer to near the seashore or the water as well, means in the sea itself. So you see students that different animals, they are having the different kind of habitat. Now in the same concept, if we were talking though, so we said that there are plants which used to live in the water. So it's a hydrilla is there, or water hyacinth is there, or water lily is there. Okay. Or if we talk about the animals, so there are fishes are there, different kind of fishes there, frog is there, and a whale, dolphin, these all. Okay. Now if we talk in case of a plant, so rose is there, or sunflower is there, or the other kind of a plant, they used to live on the land, and means they belongs to the terrestrial habitat. Okay. And as well as if we talk in case of the animals also, so a lot of a different animal, they used to live in the forest or even in the at the field area, at the mountain area. So you see that there are a lot of the animals which may share the same habitat. Okay, so if the different kind of a living organism living in the same habitat, either it can be a plant or it can be an animal, but you will see that maybe they are sharing the same habitat, but there is not much competition, and the reason is that they need different kind of food. Let me explain you again about the students. Here we are talking that okay, now you see a deer is there or a lion is there, and these two, they are living in the forest. Okay, is a wolf is also there, bear is also there, elephants are also there. So they all live in the forest. So they are sharing a same kind of a habitat. It means they are living in the same kind of a surrounding. The same thing happened with the animals which are living in the water. So different kind of a fishes are there, student, whether it is a dolphin or it is a whale or it is a shark or it is a seahorse. So these all are what different kind of a fishes which used to live in the water. So both of them are sharing the same kind of a habitat. Fishes are sharing the water kind of a habitat, that is the same habitat. They all are in the sea, suppose they are in the sea, and here we are saying that they all are living in the forest. So both of them are sharing the same habitat, but even, and if they are sharing the same habitat, there must be a lot of a competition for the space. but actually there is not much competition because their food habitat is different. It means their food is different. You see, one is carnivore, other is herbivore. So they need grass, and another need the other animal. They used to eat the other animal. So you see that since their food habitat is different, so competition will be less. And if the competition will be less, so more of them will able to survive in the particular habitat. Here the same happened with the aquatic animal also. So we will say that maybe the plant and the animals sharing the same habitat, but due to different food habitat, they used to, there is a less competition occur between two. Now, when we were talking about the habitat, so habitat, it can be soil, it can be water, it can be land also, students. So we can say, or it can be air. So in a habitat, the thing which is there in the habitat is, in a habitat, soil, water is there, and air. Soil, water, air, and many components are there. Many components of physical environment are also present. Okay, so you see, whether it is the soil, it is the water or air, these all are what? These all are the part of the habitat. Okay, so we can say that these are the components which is what? Which is a part of a physical environment. It is also present in the habitat. Okay, so we can say that, you see, when we were talking about the habitat, so we have seen here two things. The first thing that we were talking, that what is the habitat? Habitat is a surrounding in which a living organism lives. So habitat is the surrounding in which a living organism lives. So here there is a one term which came, that is living organism, and the second thing is the surrounding. So living thing and its surrounding determine the habitat. So what is a living thing? So you see here, let me explain you. When we were talking about the habitat, students, so we said habitat is what? In which a living organism or a living thing and their surrounding. Now, living organism, all of you have understood, it can be a plant or can be an animal. When we were talking about the surrounding, we are talking about the place they are living. Now, place can be a soil, it can be a forest, it can be a water, it can be a air. So these are what? These are the surrounding. So these are actually what? Surrounding, it means they are actually the part of a physical environment. Okay, when we talk about a land, it is a what? Physical environment, part of a physical environment. Okay, part of an environment. If you are talking about the water, that is also a part of an environment. If you are talking about the air, that is also a part. Mountain, hills, they all are the part of our environment. So living organism is there and the environment factor is also there. So on the basis of that, we can say that habitat it includes two components, right? We are knowing these two components that a habitat include. Now we will use a term for these two components. So we can say that habitat include two components, that is biotic component and non-biotic, it means abiotic component, and abiotic component. Okay, of the environment. Now we will discuss about that what is a biotic and abiotic. Till that you should understand one thing here, that habitat consisting of both of these components, that is a biotic one and abiotic. Here we are continuously saying that habitat consisting of a two things, living organism, surrounding, and we are also saying that habitat is having two components, that is biotic and abiotic. Okay, so basically what happened here in case of a habitat, we can also write in a very good manner about the habitat, that it is an interaction, or we can say that the habitat also includes the interaction between the biotic and abiotic components, which is a part of environment. Component okay, so it includes the interaction between the biotic and abiotic of the component of the environment. So before we start and understand the biotic and abiotic, again I am telling you here, that is living organism and surrounding is the part of a habitat, and now it is represented by a biotic and abiotic. So here living organism is represented by the biotic component, and their surrounding is represented by the abiotic. I'll explain you why is it so. Till then you just simply understand that biotic component, here we are talking about the living organism, surrounding, here we are talking about the abiotic component. Okay, and it includes the interaction between these two, that is the biotic and the abiotic component. Let me start with the biotic and abiotic, then you will be able to understand the concept very clearly, students. Now you see here, students, when we are talking about the biotic component, actually the meaning of the biotic, bio means life. Okay, so here life means living organism. Life is there in the living organism. Okay, we used to say plant die, we used to say animal die, or a human being die. So who died? Who is having life? We never say chair die or a bench die. So here bio means life, and life, it means we are talking about the living organism which is having life, the organism having life. Okay, so we can say that biotic, it means the living. The term biotic, here a biotic is there, it means living. The term biotic means living. So the living things the living things in a habitat is called as biotic component. Okay. Okay. So it is called as a biotic component, students. So here we are saying that biotic means the living organism. Now, when we were talking about the habitat, I told you habitat is what? It is actually a connection between the living things and the surrounding. So, biotic component is what? It is the living thing. Okay. So, living organisms, all the living organisms that will come into the biotic component. So, we can also say that the living in a habitat are plants, animals, plants are there, animals are there, and microorganism. So it is a broad way to represent all the living organism. So all the plants, they are the living organism. All the animals, including the human being, that is the living organism, and microorganism also, they are also a living organism. Bacteria is there, they are living, and that is why they used to cause the disease. Okay. So virus is also there. Okay. So they all are what? They are the microorganism and they are living. Okay. So that is why we used to kill the microorganism. Okay. So why we used to kill the microorganism? Because they are living. That is why we used to kill the microorganisms, students. So you see that the living organisms which used to there in the habitat are plant, animal and microorganism. Now these all are known as these all are included in the biotic component. Okay. So we can also write it here that these all, that is plants, animals and microorganisms are included in the biotic component. So these all are actually the biotic component, students. Okay. So this is the component which is having life. Okay. So all the living organisms are included or are said to be the biotic component. Now let us see the another one, student, and that is known as the abiotic component. So abiotic component. Abiotic components. So abiotic component is a component. Now let me tell you one thing. A means no and bio means life. So it means that non-living. Okay. You can see here A means no. Bio means living. So here we are talking about those component which is a part of a habitat and are actually non-living. So biotic is living and abiotic we are including that of the non-living component, students. Okay, so non-living component are known as the abiotic component. So we can also write it, the term abiotic means non-living. They are called as a non-living students. Okay, abiotic. Now I will explain you the meaning of this non-living. Okay, so we can write that abiotic means a non-living. Now let us write the second point on that of abiotic. So we can say that, okay students, now we are saying that abiotic, it means a non-living. So what does that mean? It means that all the non-living are abiotic. It means we are talking about the chair also, we are talking about a bench also, we are talking about a pen also. So is this the interaction between the living and the non-living, or the living beings and the abiotic component? No. Here when we talk about the non-living, actually we are talking about the air, we are talking about water, we are talking about soil, we are talking about a mountain, hill, all these things. So you see student, mountain, they do not have a property of a living thing. Soil, they do not have a property of a living thing. Air do not have a property of a living thing. Water, same. So what property of the living things? So air do not respire, air do not grow, air do not need food, air do not reproduce. The same thing with the water. Water does not grow, reproduce, does not excrete, does not respire. Same thing with the hill, same thing with that of the soil. So we can say that since they do not have the characteristic of the living beings, living things, that is why we will call them as a non-living thing. So you can understand that we are not talking about the things which is made by the man, but the thing which is a part of the environment but do not have the characteristic of the living thing. You see student, man or the human being, they do not made air, they do not made soil or water or that of the mountain. It is already there. It was prepared with the nature. It is a part of the nature, right? So this is what, it is a natural thing only, but since they do not have the characteristic of a living things, we will include them into the non-living things. So by now, if suppose anybody asks to you that is the mountain is a living being because it is a part of the nature, you will always write no. It is not a living being because it do not have the characteristic of a living being. So the thing which is having the characteristic of a living thing is considered to be the living beings, and which do not have the characteristic is a non-living thing. Okay, so we can say that here abiotic means non-living, and what does that mean? The various non-living things which we are talking about here are the various non-living things in a habitat are soil, water, air. Soil is there, water is there, Air is there. Rocks. Sunlight. Sunlight is there. Temperature. So you see students, these all are what? These are the various non-living things present or it's a part of our habitat. Okay, so we can say that these which are the part of the habitat, they are not having the property of the living beings, that's why they are considered to be the non-living things. So abiotic component means these non-living things. So we have seen the biotic and now the abiotic component. Okay, so hence these are called as abiotic components. Okay, so these are called as the abiotic component. So we can say that a biotic and the abiotic components, these are the two factors of a habitat. Okay, so by this we came to the conclusion here that a habitat is having two factors. Factors means here it consisting of a two component, two things which is very important for making a habitat. Okay, so that is abiotic component and second one is the biotic component. Abiotic component, it means the things which said we are there with our surrounding. So right now I am standing, my surrounding is air. Okay, so we will say air is there. Fishes, they live in the water, so their surrounding is water. Okay. The plants or the animals who live in the ground, so their surrounding is sunlight is there or temperature is there. So sunlight. Those who live in the mountain or a hilly area, so rocks. Okay, so these are what? These are the abiotic component. Biotic component, students, the living organism. This will include plants, all the plants, all the animals, microorganisms. Microorganisms. Okay, so I hope you have understood the term that is abiotic and biotic component. Okay, now we have understood here one thing, student, and that is what is the abiotic component and what is the biotic component. Now you see, students, we are seeing habitat is what we in which the place we are living. So you say that why we are including the abiotic component also in our habitat. So why we are including the abiotic component in our habitat? So we are including it since it provides the sufficient amount of the things that is necessary for the survival. Okay, so you see, student, if suppose we will take an example. So if you see soil is there, what is the role of the soil? What will happen if there will be no soil? So soil is a non-living thing, right? It do not grow, it do not reproduce, okay? It do not have a definite lifespan. So absolutely, these are what? These are the characteristic of the living things which we had studied. So this is a non-living things. So what will happen if there will be no soil? So is anything will be affected? You will say yes, everything. Because the plants will be not able to grow. And if plants will be not able to grow, so the animal will be not able to survive too. Right? So we can say here that for the growth So we can say here, student, that maybe the soil is the non-living thing, but all the living organisms, they are dependent on it. They want to grow, the plants, if they will grow, only then the animals will take the food from the plants. So for the growth of the plant, soil is important, because soil help in fixing the plant, soil help in making it to stand erect. It will also help it to give all the kind of a nutrient and nourishment to the plant, so that they can grow and develop. Okay.